Hey guys, this is Gauntlet here, and today I want to go over and show off yet another ship set for the mod. This one is going to be supplied as an add-on package, which basically means you don't have to go through a whole reinstall of the mod previously, or yeah, I'm not touch. This package won't touch any of the files of the main mod. You could just add it in. The installation is the same, it's just less files, so really easy to put in there. And what you're going to get is a new custom race and a new ship set. Now, normally I wouldn't do this as an add-on package, but this ship set uses the parts from the Mega Events DLC from Stardock. So, if you want to actually be able to use this, you have to have that DLC. But I did want to use the parts at some point, so I put that through. So, this race is the Grell Hatcheries. If we go to Diplomacy, you can kind of see their picture in the top right. They are this sort of fungus parasite things, kind of inspired by, well, actual fungal parasites that like take over ants' bodies and make them do horrible things and then eat them from the inside out. So kind of like that. There's a close-up. So yep, they're pretty gross looking, kind of amorphous blobby things. Okay, so on to the ships. Well, actually, before the ships, here's something cool. We have our first shipyard, and you can see it there. Let's make it build something, shall we? Just so we can see. You're kind of getting a preview. Yeah, we'll build a survey ship. There you go. So there is a new ship being built. I think I got everything right. You know, all my ships are raised off the sort of level platform of the galaxy by about 30 units. So I had to do that with the shipyard as well to get the ship to build in the middle. Looks like things are working out well though. So you can kind of see that circular disc isn't quite in the middle of the shipyard. It's usually dead center. It was a lot of fun to design a shipyard. This is my first one, so I'm sure I will get better at it. But overall, this one, it works well enough. So we're doing that. There will be an update to the main mod, which adds shipyards to all of the races, but that's gonna be a little while. I've got other things to fix and add into that as well, including new color schemes. Also, you may be wondering what color scheme this is. This is GRM pesticide. So you can find that in the main mod file. So this won't be adding it. You need GRM 1.3 or higher. If you're currently on 1.2, you should go get 1.3. And then you will have new color schemes. All right, so the ships. Well, first up, we have the lowly probe, the lowly tiny scout. And he's kind of doing this whole cactus stretchy thing going on here, which was pretty fun. Then we have the fighter version, which is the same thing, except now he's got lots of tentacles. They're moving every which way. A lot of movement on this guy. Again, I'm sorry. I love animation. I don't not animate things typically. So yeah, he's pretty cool. Alright, we'll go over to cargoes now. We've got a cargo station. Now, I've added these to all the ship sets a while ago. Someone suggested I was going to use these for star bases, and in a couple of cases that might be true. But something like this, for example, isn't really meant. This is never going to be a star base. It's just not really the right design for it. This really meant as a sensor ship. I, like many of you, take a cargo hull, load it up with sensors, and build 2 or 3 of those to try and observe the interior of my empire. I try not to abuse it too badly, and Stardock has, adjusted the sensors so it's not ridiculous like it was back at the beginning, though it's still pretty darn good. Okay, so there's your sensor station. Let's take a look. Here we go. We've got your constructor. I try to make sure these guys were kind of fungus looking. I really started with that engine piece, which granted is very gross looking and very, well, sea cucumber is the polite way to put it. sea cucumber looking, and lot of little bits there. I had fun with this set, but I will also admit that it did get tiresome. I'm kind of sick of doing semi-organic or organic ships right now. My next set's going to be very mechanical and very much more standard ships, but a lot of detail, and I'm looking forward to that. So there you go. Then you have the colonizer version. The civilian version just has a colony pod kind of built into that hull. And then you have the carrier version, which adds a upgraded hull piece and a bigger front, whatever that is, and 2 fighters in escort, of course. So that's your drone carrier. There you go. All right, and then the transport. Transport is weird. I want something a bit weird. I've done, I think, one other ship which drops like big invasion drop pods of some sort. I think that was for the Vagar. This one is the same principle, but we're going to call these spore bombs. Presumably they drop down to the planet and detonate in atmosphere or something, or maybe on underground or something, but they release spores all the way, and those spores turn into poison and kill everyone. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking they do. So, yep, there you go. Alrighty. Moving on to the small hulls. Let's see. Let's start with the Explorer. So here's your Explorer version. You're going to see this weird piece here in the back on anything meant to be sensorish. 2 big long tentacles on that thing. No fin. No fish fin on the small. Then you have your missile. Pretty happy with that missile pod system. I mean, the pieces for the Dreadlords are definitely nice. It's pretty clear what each of them really is meant to be. Here's your balanced, just 3 fighters. Here's your beam, using stretchy, weird tentacle things with lightning. Here is your kinetic. I really flip-flopped on the kinetic. This is mostly, yeah, not too happy with this. I think it's pretty lame. I kind of like the catfish profile it gives it, but yeah, it's just there's so little effort put into that. But, you know, it is what it is for now, and maybe I'll come back and make something better later, but for now this is going pretty well. Like I said, I was getting really sick of organic style ships. The bug set I did last really took a lot out of me on that, so... Alright, here's the mediums. You've got a swarm of fighters for a medium balance. You've got a kinetic, a missile, and a beam. And you can see this big fin, 4 tentacles, sort of weird side engine breather things. You know, I said these guys were fungus, but they also have a lot of, you know, aquatic themes going there, which is interesting. This is the survey version. His tentacles have been made much longer. He's got lots of sensor bits, but he still has some laser weapons. Alright, then we move on to the large. Let's see here. You've got your support large, which the AI uses a lot, for sure. So there you go. Then you've got your balanced, which has got a beam thing, a kinetic thing, and the missile wings. Then we've got our beam, a carrier, very similar to the drone carrier, but actually not the same. Those 2 big long tentacles on the side are pretty cool. Your kinetic, and your missile. So yeah. Obviously it's one main hull, but there's enough that you can eyeball the different ships pretty easily. Alright, and then finally we have the Huge. I think the Huge is my favorite ship of this set. I started with the missile and using these big missile pods, and yes, he is smiling at you. He is smiling at you. He's got these 2 weird eyes maybe up there, and then a big smile of missiles. But yeah, I really like the big fat sort of profile. Sorry, that got in the way. There you go. That came out with this guy. I think that's really cool. The fin really works on this guy too. All the tentacles are placed well. I think he's my favorite. Then we've got a kinetic version. Kind of has this weird like devil look because of the two big kinetic horns coming out there. Then the carrier version with the 3 sort of entry pods or docks with 4 fighters floating around them. Then of course a beam. I also like the beam. I think the beam came out pretty well. He's got these weird bits over here that are pulsating, which I like. And then a balanced, which is, you know, just pretty sloppy work. It's just adding a little bit of each weapon system to it. But it looks pretty good. I'm overall quite happy with the Huges. Yeah, Huges are a lot of work. I tend to make one base model and not many others. But, you know, that may change over time. We'll see. It's kind of a question whether it's better to go back and flesh out sets and add more ships, or just give you guys more ship sets. But at any rate, here is a new ship set, fully fleshed out. It's got one of everything and a shipyard. Kudos to the guy, I think it's J193 on the forum, who suggested doing the shipyards since I was giving up on starbases for a little while. So thank you very much for that suggestion, because it really was a good suggestion. I needed a change of pace, so I'm going to look forward to going back and adding shipyards to everybody. All right, the only other thing, guys, is I am running a contest. If you go to the Galactic Civ forum, the details are there. But basically, hey, if you're bored, I will buy you a DLC if you make a great new ship for GRM for one of the existing races. So if you make a great new ship and you win, I'll be the judge. I will buy you a $5 DLC pack. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Just kind of wanted to spice things up if possible. And maybe no one gives a shit, and we'll go from there. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.